Let's go, everybody. It's episode 6 of the Dying Scene podcast radio show. I'm Bob Noxious.
And I'm Bobby Pickles.
And we are here to make a big stink of things, man. Bobby, we got another great week of just absolutely stellar music. Lots of punk rock news and things to talk about this week, man. So how has your week been, man? You been all right?
My week has been okay. Any standout things happen to me? I can't really think of anything. What's going on with you, Bob?
Man, tell you what, spoke with a lot of cool people this week, man, including Jim Lindberg from the band Pennywise and, of course, Wrath's brand new project he's got out. So that was pretty exciting, man. That's a pretty cool cat right there. Talked to another couple cool cats. You and I talked to these folks up there over there in Greece. Is it up there, over, where's it at? By Italy, right, Bobby?
Yeah, it's to the east of it. What did we figure out, though, Bob, when we did it? We figured out it was a separate time zone. I thought it was about 6 hours away, but it ended up being 7.
Yeah, 7 hours, man. So, you know what? It's interesting. The beauty of punk rock, man, and the internet. Just think about it. Back in 77, punk rock's just coming around. You know, it's the Sex Pistols and all this stuff coming up. There's no internet back then. Barely get a payphone. You had to come over from the UK, bring it on over here and do it. Now, we got the internet, man. And we got DyingScene.com and Dying Scene Radio, man. That's the beauty of it, bro. Talking to these folks, man. Reaching out, touching someone. Tell me about your scene.
Bob, let me ask you a question. Can I back up a little bit here?
Yeah.
You just kind of glossed over that point that you said. Oh, by the way, I spoke with Jim Lindberg this week. Bob, that's amazing. Fucking Pennywise, man. I love Pennywise. Remember we were talking about last week, driving 85 miles an hour, listening to Pennywise. That's one of the best bands ever, man. Skate punk. That's my stuff, Bob.
I love Pennywise, man. And without a doubt, I was quite honored to take the phone call, man. So we got 2 parts to that interview, and it's so long of an interview that I guess we're going to post it on YouTube as well, right? Bobby, we got a YouTube channel, don't we? We ever figure out how to make that easier to find? We're just going to put it on a website with a link, right?
As soon as we get enough people out there subscribing, then we'll have a vanity website address. But for right now, we'll have the link in the description.
There you go, folks. Go ahead and go find our YouTube page and go subscribe. And then while you're on it, like us on Facebook, too.
Bob, people can go to our new website,
DyingSceneRadio.com. That's pretty kick-ass, man. You know, the fact that we just picked up our first sponsor, we were able to get a website out of the deal, too, right?
That's right.
Fat Enzo custom t-shirts. It's pretty kick-ass, man. It's fatenzo.com. You're in a band, we got a special for you. It's a Facebook special, but you know what? $5 t-shirts, man. Just tell them that you know Bob. Bob said it was cool. $5 t-shirts, you get 50 of them. It's $250, man. Fatenzo.com. Dying Scene Radio.
From Fat Enzo to Face to Face, Southern California punk legends Face to Face have added a handful of other dates to their Triple Crown series. That's basically where they do 3 full albums over 3 full nights. If you're not familiar, the Triple Crown shows feature Trevor Keith and the gang playing each of their first 3 albums. 1992's Don't Turn Away, 1994's Big Choice, and 1996's self-titled album in their entirety over the course of 3 nights in the same venue. The new dates feature stops in Chicago, Denver, Dallas, and New York City. Head to DyingScene.com for the dates. I can tell you right now they're coming to the Bowery Ballroom May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in New York City, and I definitely want to go.
There's probably, like, I'm sure, a 3-day ticket price, right? Because, I mean, that's 3 nights of seeing face-to-face in a row, man. And let me tell you what, I love these bands that come out and do these shows where they replay one of their classic records. I like that, man. Sometimes that's what the fans want to hear. Of course, I want to hear new stuff, too, but when it can be spread out over a couple nights, pretty kick-ass, bro.
Hell yeah, man. I do want to see that.
That's Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be in Texas then, man.
Oh, really? You're going to be doing your gigs, right? You're going on tour?
Yeah, Pigpen, on the road.
Hell yeah, man. So, Strung Out, did you hear about the news with Strung Out?
Did I ever hear about the news of Strung Out? Let me tell you what, man. It goes back to last week we were talking about punk rock bands making a comeback and talk about it being a dying scene, man. Strung Out, brand new record. I got some brand new stuff right here from Strung Out. You going to tell us about it, Bobby?
Yeah, they just... Well, when did they do it? They just this week? Or when did they do it? Today?
Yeah, just dropped today. Matter of fact, this is so fresh, it's probably still steaming. Brand new. Ain't nobody heard it. I guarantee you. This is the first right here, man.
It's off Fat Records, right?
Si, senor.
So basically, Strung Out, they're streaming The Animal and the Machine off upcoming album Transmission Alpha Delta. Everybody's waiting for that album.
Comes out March 24th, man. You can pre-order it right now from the website, fatrec.com.
They've also announced that they'll be touring North America in support of the release. And La Armada will be joining them on all the dates.
And they're coming into Tampa Bay. They'll be playing St. Petersburg. I believe it's my birthday week right then when they're coming in, so I will definitely be at that show. Expect an interview. I'll be talking to the fuckers.
Man, it's very cocky. Or is it just confidence?
You can talk to anybody out there, man. There's a back door, man. You got to come in and out. And they don't usually use the front door, man, so you just hang out by the back door. Hey, man, can I score an interview? So I got some brand new stuff right here, man, from Strung Out, man, and I am pleased as all hell to play it for you guys, man. I know you're going to dig it. This is pretty much what you'd expect, man. Here it is, The Animal and the Machine. It's Dying Scene Radio.
Scott from Out of Order, and this is Dying Scene Radio.
Struggle for the status quo. The working class would be out on the go. Giving up for a new revolution. I put it down to fascist institution. Culture as we know it taking a swamp. Our people fighting to get what they deserve. Middle class gonna take it in the face. yourselves, you greedy jerks. So live your hollow lives, pray to God and go to church. Your selfishness despicable, leave your poison legacy. But leave us all out of it, cause it has nothing to do with me. Who'd have thought we'd ever see the day? Who'd have thought they would throw us all away? Who'd have thought take a shovel as you take? Who'd have thought for the cheap lying pigs?
And there you go, man. 2 weeks after announcing their new record, Rats in the Burlap, that's the Real McKenzies doing their brand new track. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought you'd be hearing another track from the Real McKenzies, man? It's good stuff, man. They got a brand new record. It's going to be out on March 24th, and I like it, Bobby. I like it a lot.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it, Bob? The Real McKenzies. They're good, man. I love them. We had some kind of news about them a couple weeks ago, but good band.
Let me say something. I don't know where I got my info from, man. That record comes out April 7th on Fat Records. Another fat wreck right there.
That's pretty close to my birthday. You just birthday dropped on the last segment.
How old are you going to be this year, Bobby? 64?
35 years old, Bob.
That's about right. All right. Send some birthday wishes to Bobby Pickles at dyingscene.com.
It's April 5th, if anybody wants to know. Anyway.
April 5th. That's awesome. That's a good birthday.
It is a good birthday, man.
Mine's better.
When is yours?
May the 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, my God. We both had the 5.
That's right, man. Let's go play the lottery, man. You got the Powerball numbers?
Dude, Bob, this is great, man. We're in sync with the universe, and we're going to fucking definitely take this radio show to the next level. I can't wait to interview some big-time people, man, and especially when summer comes around and all these festivals are going, and it's going to be awesome.
You going to get out and go see some festivals, man? What do you got in mind?
You need to come up here, and we need to do this up here in New York City, and we need to try to plan that out. I was thinking about that today, actually.
The band's coming. We're making a fall run up towards Philly, man. There's no reason why we can't hit up the city, too. Get us a gig up there at a festival.
Give me the dates, and I'll do what I can.
Tell me when to show up.
I have the gift of gab, Bob, and a tenacious, burning desire within me, and I will be able to sweet talk any Tom, Dick, or Harry into allowing Pigpen to play at that show.
Gotta be perfect.
How about some news, Bob?
What do you got this week?
All right, Bad Religion announced more Battle of the Centuries U.S. club shows. Everybody knows Bad Religion, man. California punk rock icons. And they've added a bunch of dates to their U.S.-Canadian touring schedule. They'll be doing a few Battle of the Century dates on their post-Coachella run. In case you missed it, the Battle of the Century shows feature Bad Religion playing 2 nights in the same location. The first night features songs from the band's catalog circa 1980 to 2000, while the second night features songs from the last 15 years, basically the pre-Brooks and post-Brooks eras. The new dates take place throughout the better part of the month of June and feature support from Plague Vendor. Check out the whole rundown on dyingscene.com.
Is Brooks Wackerman no longer playing with Bad Religion anymore?
Why are you asking me? You know I'm a nincompoop, you know. I was going to ask you about that. While you're Wikipediaing everything, because I know that you're doing that, your grubby little hands are going, keyboard strokes, I hear them. I wanted to comment about Bad Religion because, hey, here we have another band. Just like we were talking in the last segment about Face to Face, they're playing this 3-night show, and they're playing all this old music. Here we have another iconic punk band, Bad Religion, doing the same thing. So there's going to be a lot of this going on.
It seems to be the thing to do. There's so many bands that are still out there doing stuff, you know, and they got such a back catalog of music that it really is a no-brainer, man.
This is going to be the year, Bob. I'm going to see a lot of music, and we're going to get a lot of content for this show. And I'd like for you to come up to New York, and let's try to do something in person. We do all this internet stuff. We're going to do something in person.
Just let me crash on your floor, man. I'll hop a plane at any weekend, and I'll be up there, man. Just let me know something that's cool to come up there with.
Dude, you can sleep on the same bed with the bum. You guys can share a twin bed. Don't worry about it.
You say there's lots of cardboard downtown I could probably pick up? Because you say it's pretty clean down there, right? I don't want to sleep in the bed with a bum.
Bob, listen, honestly, in the space that I'm relocating to here pretty soon, it's going to be fit for a king. There's going to be plenty of space for you.
Perfect.
And your band, probably.
Okay, now we're talking. Book us a show.
We'll get you worked out, Bob, and that's serious.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. Hey, I just looked it up on Wikipedia. Well, this is why I didn't know. Brooks Wackerman, he's still playing with the band. I would have known if he had left. He's still there. So what do they mean by the pre-Wackerman and the post-Wackerman? Or pre-Brooks is what they said. Brooks Wackerman was the drummer of Bad Religion. In your article, it said that the music that they were focusing on was pre-Brooks and post-Brooks. But he's still in the band.
I'm sorry, I trailed off there, Bob. I lost my train of thought.
No, what I'm saying is in your article, it said that they were focusing on a set of music that was pre-Brooks and post-Brooks. Well, Brooks,
I know.
Brooks is Brooks Wackerman from Bad Religion. He's still in the band. He hasn't left. Matter of fact, he's playing with a bunch of other bands, too, along with it, including Tenacious D, and I guess he sat in Blink 182 once or twice. I don't know why he's associated with them. Anyway, I know he's Tenacious D's drummer.
Well, you found a flaw in the system, man. You found a kink in the armor.
I tell you what, man.
What are you going to do?
If I knew how to update Wikipedia pages, oh my God. That's what I like about Tosh.0, man. Tosh.0, he doesn't care what you put on his Wikipedia page. None of it's true. I would go around and I would change all kinds of factual information and just make it absolutely preposterous. Just to be, like an internet terrorist. Because
Man, who has actually ever gone on and edited a Wikipedia page? I haven't. Have you?
I've tried. It's moderately complex. And maybe I just didn't give a rat's, ass whether I really got it done or not. I never succeeded.
Okay, so, that kind of proves my point. All these people always talk about they easily discredit Wikipedia by saying, oh, it's Wikipedia. Anybody can edit it. But
it is true.
I've never personally ever met anybody who has edited it.
Well, people do. Tell you what, we have listeners, right? I look at the download numbers. And by the way, thank you, everybody, for downloading, listening, and subscribing. There's a vast number out there. It's very nice. Somebody out there, I guarantee you, Bobby, has done a Wikipedia page. So please, listeners, I have a homework assignment for you. Make us a Wikipedia page for Dying Scene Radio. Does DyingScene.com have a wiki page, I wonder?
I'm sure it's up.
You would think that they should, right?
Yeah, there's nothing.
Wikipedia page, folks. Make one for DyingScene.com as well as Dying Scene Radio. Do us a solid. That'll let us know that you're listening.
One last piece of news, Bob. Teenage Bottle Rocket, they have released a music video for Haunted House of upcoming album Tales from Wyoming. These guys are from Wyoming.
Yeah, from Laramie.
Laramie?
Yeah, pretty cool band, man. I am a big fan of Teenage Bottle Rocket. I like them. I think they're pretty cool.
As you've proclaimed.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. The record doesn't even come out until March 31st on Rise Records. This is the second track they've already released from it. By the time that the record comes out in another month, I think I'm going to have half the thing downloaded already, man. So I'm halfway home. But it's great stuff, man. It's great to hear them. And I'm looking forward to seeing them coming through my town on my birthday. Like you said, Bobby, they got a brand new video right here, and it's streaming right there on DyingScene.com. It's called Haunted House, and it's from the upcoming album, Tales from Wyoming. This is Teenage Bottle Rocket on Dying Scene Radio.
On a daring for a thrill. Basically, I'm Colin.
I'm Brian.
I'm Patrick.
And I'm Brian.
And we're Entropy.
You're listening to Dying Scene Radio.
Dying Scene Radio.
So you guys are a new punk band, huh? That we just featured on DyingScene.com. Have you gotten a lot of people interested in the band because of that media?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great opportunity that you featured us on your website. We already got a lot of new fans from the States that it wouldn't be possible.
It is great, thank you.
You guys know English very well. All of your music is completely in English, right?
Yeah, really it is.
And why is that? Why did you choose not to go with Greek?
It's easier. The music we listen to is in that language, so it's easier for us to write in that way.
We are mostly influenced by American bands like NoFX, Lagwagon, all that.
Hey, that's the kind of stuff I actually like. Bob can attest to that. NoFX, Lagwagon, Pennywise, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yes. So eventually, it's kind of easier to relate to those bands by writing in English lyrics. So it's kind of easier to feel the music like they do.
Who does most of the writing?
I think we all do.
Do you guys come up with it in Greek and then you all try to kind of translate it to American?
No, not really. I think we all, when we write our songs, we think of the lyrics in the first place in English. We don't write them in Greek or anything. And we, all the guitarists, I am the bassist, I'm Chris, George is the guitarist, and Kim is the guitarist. We all write the songs, we bring them to the table, and then each of us adds a separate element to the song. That's how we do it.
I got to ask you a quick question. I mean, the 90s skate punk sound, the similarities are obvious, but I don't know whether I'm missing, the point here, but tell me about the name of the band. Fold the Nuts. Is this some kind of something I don't know about? Is it lost in translation because of the distance between you and I? But Fold the Nuts.
We gotta explain this.
Please.
When you listen it for the first time, if you put it in the context of poker, from where it's inspired, it makes some sense, because fold doesn't mean fold like folding your clothes. Nuts is not your balls. It's a term in poker when you pass the best possible hand you can have. That's what this means.
Okay, all right. So that means it's like a full house, aces high, kings, queens,
and you just throw it away.
Yeah,
throw it away. Fold the nuts. Yeah.
It's very deep, man. It's very deep.
So now, do you guys play a lot of cards in your downtime, or where does that reference come from?
Chris usually plays some cards. Yeah.
How about the history of the band? When did you guys get together? How long have you guys known each other?
We met like 3 or 4 years ago. When was it?
3.5 years, maybe. The two of us.
Playing songs randomly at houses, or, some rehearsals with some friends. It was with the other members back then.
We're talking with Fold the Nuts. You guys are based out of Greece, is that correct? Greece?
Yeah, Athens.
Athens, Greece. What's the, first of all, I mean, I'm not sure what the punk rock scene's like that, but what's the music scene like in Athens, Greece for a punk band?
We have some bands. It's not something great, but it's all right.
I don't know if you have ever heard of Bandage. Despite Everything, Vodka Juniors. Those are some guys that go way back.
Flipstar?
Flipstar, yes.
There are some bands in different style, in the 90s
mood.
The 90s mood, yeah, but in a different style of playing punk rock. But we have a little scene.
Europeans like all kinds of rock music, right? Like metal. You guys have huge festivals over the summer, right?
With Greece, it's mostly metal bands, some punk rock bands, and I think in the last couple of years, it's been going a lot better for the punk rock scene, also in Greece, due to also Facebook and Bandcamp and sites like yourselves. The Greek bands have got some recognition.
I love the
Greece
stuff.
Also, some steps behind, than Sweden, for example.
Now, how do you guys feel about your current political situation?
Well, it's kind of shitty. I mean, you have to admit that things are kind of, chaos and stuff. I don't know. I don't have an opinion personally.
That never gets into the music.
We don't have any political lyrics at the moment in the first EP. But I mean, it's not chaos, as Kimon has said. because there's no bombing or whatever. You don't have to think of it as disaster.
I didn't mean like a terrorist and stuff, but yeah.
It's just a really corrupted country. Really corrupted country with bad politicians over the past years, but not completely chaos, I would say. Just a bad mood and misery and stuff like that.
Recently, the government. So we have some hope eventually.
Can you clarify what was the major thing with the new government? What did they declare or something like that? Or what were they the first to do for everybody who doesn't know, including myself?
Basically, Greece went into a deep economical recession about 6 or 7 years ago. And then we got loans from Germany and other European countries that we weren't able to pay off without crashing completely our economy. And the new government brought to the table a new program with different
ideology.
Yeah, different ideology and different standards to help us pay off our debt, but to bring first some economical growth without bleeding our country, if you understand.
Didn't they say? I'm sorry. I'm getting off. I guess I'm getting off track from the punk rock.
No,
thing.
Bobby, I was going to ask you. Can you imagine? If someone came into America and told us the same thing. You know what? You guys are fucking up with your spending, and this is how it's going to be, and this is how we're going to do it from here on. How many people would be cool with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think we've had enough with people telling us how to spend our things, and that we always get the wages down. Like people's incomes are getting very, very low. So yeah, people are kind of fed up with that. If you can imagine that, it's pretty bad. Yeah,
are getting poorer, and the rich people are getting richer before the government change.
It's that way everywhere.
Happened. It's a worldwide thing, I think.
I don't believe we are actively, like, our lyrics and our material isn't political. It might be passively political. Like, we're influenced by our surrounding and our environment, and we just kind of put this through our music. But unintentionally, maybe.
Punk rock historically has been political. That's how it arose. So, Bob, you gonna chime in here, Bob? What are you doing?
I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up on world news over here, man. I had no idea, so I was over here on the Googleator. Hey guys, what about shows? You guys doing any cool shows? I mean, with the political climate the way that it is, and spending being a factor. I mean, what's it like, doing shows around your area, and where's the farthest that you travel from your home base in Athens? Where do you go to play shows?
Yeah, we recently did a release show here in Athens. It went pretty well. We gathered about 200 people. That was cool for Athens. And then we also did a mini tour. We went to Larissa. It's a city northern from Athens.
Like 2 from Athens. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, as always, just keeping the party going, Yeah. You guys got day jobs. You got to work a day job, and this is, what you would love to do forever, but what do you guys do for a living?
I'm actually a student. We're all pretty young, actually.
That's okay, man. I mean, well, what are you studying? Okay, young. How young? What are your ages?
I'm 18.
Okay, so you're a young adult. So,
wow, you guys are super young.
Easy, Grandpa, over there.
I'm 26 over here.
There's Grandpa right there.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, exactly, Grandpa. That's what we call him.
So, Grandpa, what do you?
I'm 22.
Okay, so you're young men in life. So what do you guys do to pay the bills?
I used to be a waiter for some time.
Bob, I don't know. Do you have any kinfolk from Europe?
Maybe a couple hundred years ago, but not really.
A German lady once told me that it's not polite to ask what you do.
Really?
I don't know if that's a thing or not.
Okay, I don't know.
No, it's not.
Is that like asking a woman how old she is, something like that, or how much she weighs?
Could be.
No, it's not.
Okay.
We're not so classy, don't worry.
So where were we? Bob was offending everybody by prying into your personal lives and not the punk rock band issue.
Your last question about going and playing in another country.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty hard for now because it needs a lot of preparation and experience. But we would definitely try to do something like this because many bands have tried it. Some of our friends have tried it, and I think it's a very good experience for a band.
Bob, you didn't even bring up that you're right down there in Tarpon Springs.
Yeah, we have a little Greek area here in Florida, where I'm at. I'm in Tampa, Florida. It's called Tarpon Springs, Florida. You guys ever hear of Tarpon Springs? Is that like a vacation destination for you Greek folks?
It's the highest concentrated Greek American community in United States, Bob.
Are you on Wikipedia right now?
No, it is. You didn't know that?
I know it's a heavy Greek area, but I mean, I'll be honest with you, they just seem like normal people to me because I don't recognize it when I go fill my car up over there. It's not like I look around and go, wow, there's a lot of Greeks around here. You know, look it up, Tarpon Springs, Florida. It's a Greek community, and they do the Greek Orthodox. You know, they toss the cross, the Epiphany, and you know. Do you guys do that as young kids? You go.
Maybe we'll have a show there.
Man, I'll tell you what, I can hook you guys up with a show in Tarpon Springs, Florida. You guys get your ass over here to the States. Yeah. I'll book you a show in Tarpon Springs. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that you'll make nothing and you can sleep on my floor, but I'll bring you to Tarpon Springs, Florida. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Is there anything you want to share with our listeners before we split?
Check us out on YouTube, on Facebook.
All right, man. You guys heard them. Go ahead, click that like button. Go to Facebook.com. All you got to do is just type in Fold the Nuts. They're right there at the top. Like I said, give it a like, give it a listen, leave them a comment, and show them some love. All right, guys. Thank you. And that was this week's Dying Scene Radio Band Spotlight. Fold the Nuts from Athens, Greece. Pretty stand-up dudes, man. What do you think, Bobby? Fold the Nuts. Do you want to play some cards now that you know?
What kind of card game?
Crazy Eights? Old Maid?
You want to play some Pinochle, Bob?
I used to know how to play Pinochle. And I bet if you...
Really?
Yeah, man. I used to hang out there in the ghetto. When I was a little boy, I was like 8. We lived in the ghetto.
Really?
No.
Bob, that being Fold the Nuts, that was cool, man. We got to talk to them from Athens, Greece via the internet.
Well, one of them was in Switzerland, too, so...
Really?
Yeah. You didn't catch on to that? One of them was in Switzerland. The young one, the 18-year-old one. I forgot what his name was.
I didn't catch that, Bob. I was too busy noticing how offensive you can be to European people.
I'm offensive to everyone, dude. I'm offensive to probably you.
That's why you're Bob Noxious.
I am offensive. You know, it's not like I intentionally do. I don't know things, man. I'm not worldly. I'm a redneck in Florida, okay? Let's get real. I live down here for a reason. The rent is cheap, the weather's nice, and the people are weird. This is home. Florida.
Yeah, down there in Florida, Bob. You're a Floridian.
I know
Whatever,
how to
man.
drive.
It's cool. I escaped from there, but the water's warm where you are. You're fucking acclimated.
You know what,
love
man? It's nice here, man. I don't have any problems with it. This is paradise, bro. Live in Florida. Suck it up over there at your ice storms or whatever travesty that you guys are suffering this week up there in the northern states. I'm down here sweating. I had to turn my air conditioner on. It's hot.
Bob, the one thing that sucks about the way we did the show today was that you didn't get to announce the band Spotlight. You always do it in that crazy way, man, and that kind of sucks. But, oh well.
What, you want me to be zany and crazy when I introduce the band Spotlight? Is it... Is
yeah,
it,
man, you're a clown. You're a court jester. You're here for my amusement.
Okay, man. It's a band Spotlight. Let's get ready to Spotlight. This week, we've got Athens, Greece-based Fold the Nuts for your listening pleasure.
Bob, you want some news?
Yeah, buddy. Give me some news. Give me some news that I can use.
Implants have announced a new bassist, Matt Riddle of Face to Face and No Use for a Name. That's pretty great, man. That supergroup Implants, they just got a little bit more super. Matt Riddle will make his debut as a member of Implants on March 21st at Brick by Brick in San Diego. Riddle will be filling the shoes of former bassist Chris Del Rio, who recently parted ways with Implants on amicable terms and has since formed a new group called Fairvale. Matt will likely not be appearing on the band's upcoming EP. However, as it was announced, Strung Out's Chris Aiken was tracking bass for the record in late January. So, in very related news, members of 10 Foot Pole, DC Fallout, Implants, and more have formed a new band called Fairvale. Fairvale is a new punk supergroup of sorts from Los Angeles, California, featuring Paul Lipinski of Static Fiction, as well as DC Fallout's Scott Halquist, who is also a touring guitarist for 10 Foot Pole. Chris Del Rio of 10 Foot Pole, formerly of Implants, and AJ Condosta, who has played drums for Voodoo Glow Skulls and Jughead's Revenge. The band hasn't put out any tunes yet, but they're planning on doing so sometime soon. Be sure to follow them on their Facebook and Twitter pages, and stay tuned for more updates from DyingScene.com.
That's good news right there, man, if you're a skate punk music fan. That's some of your classic heavyweights, man, right there. So, new stuff coming from two different directions. Looking forward to hearing some, Bobby.
Bob, isn't this great? You just keep getting old, and then your bands that you loved just stay fucking playing.
If we could all live forever, man, wouldn't it be so great?
We all lived in a forever Nirvana happy land where all your favorite punk music, Bad Religion, NoFX, Pennywise, all these bands just kept on pumping out new stuff every single year, and nobody ever died.
That would be pretty sweet, bro.
Punk rock happy land. That's what I call it.
Punk rock utopia.
Yeah, the punk rock utopia. That's it. Bob, you'll be the mayor of this place.
That's cool.
You'll be the mayor. I elect you, Bob. I don't want to be.
Does it
You know
pay
what
any
they say about politicians? The best ones don't want to be one, like a George Washington type. That's you. I'll make you. You son of a bitch. You're the only one fit to lead this battalion.
There are lots of qualified individuals.
All knowledgeable, Bob. I wish you'd do us the graces of leading us into a punk rock battle of music right now, man. You know?
A battle of music. You want to go head-to-head with two tracks right here, one against the other?
Yeah.
All right. Kind of like a Yank It or Crank It or something like that? No, we don't want to do that because...
No.
No,
be
because
nice.
you know what?
Nice.
I've pretty much picked all these bands because I thought they were all kick-ass. None of them are better than the other, and they're all great. I got some brand new stuff from a Louisville, Kentucky-based hardcore punk band. They're called Coliseum. They got a brand new record. It's called Anxiety's Kiss, and it's going to be coming out through Death Wish Incorporated on my birthday, Bobby, May 5th. The band also just premiered a music video for the new song called We Are the Water, and you can check that video out right there on DyingScene.com. So here it is, Coliseum on Dying Scene Radio.
Christos from For the Nuts, bassist and vocalist.
I'm Yorgos from For the Nuts, best player ever and vocalist and guitarist.
Hey, I'm Kimon from For the Nuts. I play guitar and I try not to fuck up.
I am Christos Mitsos, the drummer of All the Nuts, and you're listening to
Dying Scene Radio.
I need you like a hole in the head. Hole in the head, hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. A hole in the head. Your name is trouble. Mine's no better. But nothing goes right when we're together. We were lasting our sleeves. Left by nothing and come between. But you proved me wrong, and now I know. I need you like a hole in the head. Hole in the head, hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. Hole in the head, hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. My respect for you, clouded by judgment, but these new eyes can finally see. You touch the bridges we built, where once was hope, nothing but broken trust and empty promises. We were so close knit, I never thought that we would tear apart at the seams. We were so close knit, I never thought that we would break so easily. Now I know just who you are. These new eyes can finally see through your deceit. Now I know just who you are. These new eyes can finally see that I need you like a hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. Hole in the head, hole in the head. I need you like a hole in the head. A hole in the head. In the head. Fuck!
That right there was the Scottish melodic hardcore punk band called Get It Together, doing their track called Hole in the Head. I need that like a hole in the head. Bobby Pickles, that right there, I can take that home with me all day long, man. It's from their latest EP. It's called Rebuild, Recover, and it's on vinyl. You gotta love that vinyl stuff right there. Right there out through Make That a Take Records. Those who haven't heard the EP can check it out on dyingscene.com. And if you like what you hear, be sure to support the band by picking up the 7-inch from the label's Bandcamp. Rebuild Recover was initially released digitally and on CD last November, serving up as a follow-up to their Get It Together 9-song debut EP called Perspectives, which was released in December of 2013. Like I said, Bobby, I love that, man. It's great stuff coming out of Scotland, man. Scotland makes me think of like red bearded men drinking beer.
Such as yourself, Bob.
Makes me thirsty right about now. I like beer, man. There's a new beer bar that is opened up by my house. It's stumbling distance, so that makes it, therefore, very convenient. It's got some weird name. Red Star, Rock Star Bar, fucking, I don't know. High-end fucking beers, which are delicious to me. I'll take a nice, tasty beverage, please.
Well, I think we already discussed this about my fondness for Bud Light beer. And I just say shit about you being a ridiculous Florida scumbag. Anyway, I got some news, Bob.
What you got for me, man? You got something interesting here?
I guess last week there was a news story about a band, Bayside. We talked about them on the show. They're from Bayside, Queens, right?
Right, yeah. We actually played their song.
Dancing Like an Idiot. Right. But anyway, basically, Bayside frontman Anthony Ranieri issued a lengthy response.
Ranieri.
Ranieri.
Ranieri. Oh, okay.
Did
I don't
you hear
know.
it pronounced differently?
Maybe you know something I don't know.
Ranieri. That's how it's pronounced.
Now I'm confused.
Why? It's Raneri. Ra-ner-e.
Ranieri.
Anthony Ranieri. Anthony Ranieri issued a lengthy response this week. So what happened is, Dancing Like an Idiot, they did a video. It was a lyric video where they called out a bunch of quote-unquote bullshit bands, all of whom are basically One Direction if they all had throat tattoos. That's one of the lyrics in the song. So in response to a lot of the blowback that the band received, Anthony Ranieri issued a lengthy response this week, and here's an excerpt. I'll speak like Abraham Lincoln saying his address.
All right, perfect. Dun, 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 dun.
Let me first be clear that I am not intending to backtrack or soften any criticism. We meant what we said in the song, and it came out as we intended, and we're proud of it and its message. Dialogues are great and important. I said what I wanted in that song. A lot of people had responses, and now I want to continue the discussion. And anyone is free to respond to this should they feel so inclined.
Bravo. That was very good, Bobby Pickles.
Yeah, man. Are you inclined to criticize their video?
I don't think it's the video, man, so much as, you know,
the song or whatever?
I think what Anthony was so upset with is he's been doing, you know, shows with Bayside for the last 15 years. He's played a lot of Warped Tours. And what he's saying in a roundabout way, Bobby, is, back in my day, we didn't handle things that way. We didn't talk about women that way. We didn't get downright disgusting. What we did was we played punk rock, and it was melodic, and we played the fuck out of it. And that's what we did. That's the translation. So, Abe.
That wasn't Abe. Actually,
that wasn't
I don't
Abe.
even know what that was.
But anyway, you know, his response is just this. You know, he wrote a song based on his observations that some of the bands, which, you know, we could name, but we won't. It's irrelevant. They're not here. We won't talk about them behind their backs. He's calling some folks out without naming names based on his observations, and he makes no apologies. Good for him. I thought that was a pretty rocking track by Bayside, and I like the band, man. And I like that track.
Well, Bob, let me tell you, man, one guy who I don't think falls into that category whatsoever, he's a stand-up dude, is Jim Lindberg. And you made light of it earlier, but you got to talk with Mr. Lindberg this week for Dying Scene Radio. You did a Bob Noxious special.
I did.
Over the phone.
I did, and he was a pleasure to talk with, man. And I'll be honest with you, Bobby. I was a little unprepared going into it, you know, in the back of my mind going, oh, yeah, it's just Jim from Pennywise, you know. I'd saved his number on my phone, and it rang, and it said, you have a call from Jim Lindberg. And I was like, wow, man, this is kind of surreal, man. I grew up listening to Pennywise, man. I'm speaking through you, to you, and right on down the line, man. Pennywise kicks ass. I was a little nervous. I've interviewed 100 bands and lots of people. He is definitely in my top two or three, you know, for sure, best interviews. Really enjoyed talking to.
Bob, you have reached the upper echelon of punk rock interviews. You've gotten to the fucking peak, man, the peak. Who else is even on that same level, man? I mean, would you say Fat Mike would be like the crowning achievement of interviews?
No, based upon our episode last week, I'm going to say that probably Ben Weasel. He don't want to talk to you. I think that Fat Mike is probably in the same boat. They do their own media. They don't need us.
Let's hear what Mr. Lindberg had to say to you, yapping away like a couple of yentas.
This is going to be in two parts right here. So this is the first part. Then we're going to play some brand new stuff from his brand new band called Wraths and another special treat on the backside. We'll talk about that on the other side. All right, let's go ahead. Let's roll the tape.
Hello.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Hey, this is Bob from Dying Scene Radio. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Bob?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us about your new band, Wraths.
Yeah, nice.
The latest thing out of South Bay. Tell me about the band. I know that you got Steve McCall from 1208 in it, and a couple of guys who I don't really know who are in the Darlings. Tell me a little bit about the band and how you fell into this project.
I've known Steve and Chris from 1208, and they're also in another band called Ticino. So we did a tour, the Deconstruction tour in Europe years and years ago with 1208, and Steve was part of that lineup at the time. So known him for a while, and then just kind of loosely kept in touch over the years, and always liked what he did in Ticino. It was hard music, but it didn't kind of have that epitaph 90s skate punk sound, a lot of his stuff. So it was kind of different than a lot of the other bands from around here. So that's what initially kind of caught my ear when talking to Steve about his music and stuff. And then he kind of came around when I was doing the Black Pacific thing, and we played a little then. And then just recently he hit me up saying that he had a bunch of songs and they were looking for a singer, and he sent me the material. And very selfishly, I just said that I'd love to do it. Instead of looking for someone, I just made myself be the guy. And for some reason, they're willing to put up with an old veteran like me singing for the band. And then they were working with this guy, Drew, who was playing with the Darlings as well. So just a bunch of local guys with some time on their hands to play some music. And very different from the bands that I've done, and obviously Pennywise. Steve's writing a lot of the music, and along with the other guys, Chris writes as well. But he has his own sound, and it's very different. He has a very angular approach to the guitar, a lot of challenging parts for me to write lyrics to. So it was a fun process in that we kind of were making music that really didn't sound like anything else. So that was kind of fun for me to have a new outlet for some creativity. So it's been cool so far. We're really stoked to be playing.
Yeah, I guess anytime that you get the opportunity to break out of your shell and try something different that's going to challenge you, seems like that's got to be the opportunities that you got to jump on. So it's very cool sounding, man. It sounds a lot to me like it has more of an old school sound. Was that deliberate?
Yeah, absolutely, especially when it came to the recording. I've always struggled with that in the past. I like all kinds of music, but I was raised on, obviously, the early South Bay punk bands, Descendants and Black Flag, and just loved that really warm sound of their recording, a very raw sound. And it was hard to get that because with the 90s skate punk stuff, and our band was a big offender in that as well, we all tried to make it sound very, very good. Everyone was getting into studios, and then Pro Tools came along. And No Effects and Bad Religion, we were all studio heads, and we really wanted it to be really tight. You know, the music we played was pretty muscular and fast with a lot of changes and things like that. So the recording got better and better, and we kind of lost some of that rawness and immediacy. And I really wanted to get back to, for both Pennywise and this Wrath project, just going in there, playing it live and recording it in a couple takes. Because when you do like 30 takes of the same song, you're going to lose something. And I think we fell victim to that in Pennywise and some of our later albums, where we would just hammer it until we got it perfect, and then we kind of lose some of that spontaneity that you need to have in punk rock. There's got to be rough edges. There's got to be some flat vocals. There's got to be a couple guitar parts that aren't right in the exact right place. There's got to be some drum fills that are out of time. But that messed up part of punk music and hard music is what gives it character. And I think a lot of the 90s skate punk bands really started sounding homogenized. And it was great music. It always blows my mind when Lagwagon and No Effects can come out with another album in the same genre, recorded the same way. That excites me. Like the new Lagwagon is a great record. The No Effects Coaster album is a great record. It doesn't at all deviate from their formula of what they've done their whole lives, but it's amazing that they can continue to make it something that I really like a lot and really interested in hearing. So it is a challenge, though, for us to make music that sounds immediate, that has an important outlook, and is something that I'm excited listening to. You know, it's been a challenge working with various people at various studios to try and get the exact sound that you want.
Do you have a favorite engineer, or do you guys do things yourself? I guess I'm directing more towards Wraths. I know that you guys did things that yourself, but with Pennywise, do you guys always use the same engineer, or do you try other people? Or do you do it yourself?
Well, with Pennywise, we work with various people. I think Joe Barisi was probably one of my favorite guys to work with. Also, Jerry Finn, who passed away, was really great as well. We did some of our later albums a lot at Fletcher's studio, where that was difficult not having someone with a real vision like Joe Barisi does. He kind of really came in here and put the pins to us to do it his way, which we really needed, because when you leave us alone in there to do it, it gets a little crazy. But with Wrath, which was really cool, is everyone knew the material extremely well going in there. We practiced once a week. We're always playing and working on the songs, and Scott and Pat, who is part of Screaming Leopard Studios here in the South Bay, small little studio that Fletcher happens to be a part of. But we just went in there and we'd do one or two takes, and I would ask Pat, do you want to do another one? And he'd just say, why would you do another one? Everyone sounds exactly right. Why bother? So we were able to do the whole EP in just one day, pretty much, maybe 2 days. That's what I really liked about it. It has that really raw sound. It doesn't sound overproduced. It's just, when we played live, it sounds exactly like that. So that's really cool. It was just absolutely stress-free playing with these guys. They know exactly what they're doing. They knew the exact sound they wanted from their amps and their guitars, and it was really effortless in that sense. And, obviously with Pennywise, you're going to have years and years of us doing different records. Everyone kind of wants different things. And instead of it getting easier, it probably gets harder each year and try and put out music the way you want it to sound. Everyone has a different opinion on how things should sound. So
right.
We just kind of did it our way.
I got to agree with you, Jim, man. It's like, know your parts, get in there, bang it out, keep it raw and real, After all, it's just punk rock, right?
Exactly. And, people do care a lot. People care more than you think about how it sounds, even stuff that does sound off the cuff. People put a lot of time and effort and energy and blood, sweat, and tears into making it sound like it was just recorded really quickly. So keeping that artifice out of it's really important, and doing it just like I said, going there, plugging the stuff, mic it up, and record it is absolute best way to do it. And I hope future Rast records will be that way, as well as Pennywise records, because I really honestly don't think, not to take it back to Pennywise again, I really don't think anyone has really captured what we really sound like when we're playing without microphones in our faces, or in a studio environment. I think we sound a lot different live. It's a lot more powerful and more explosive live than it is in the studio. It just gets kind of pasteurized in the studio somehow. And I'd love to just do a record where we really just have that feeling of we're just going to do one take of every song, and how it sounds is how it sounds. So, and that's what we did with Rast, and that's what has made it such a rewarding experience with these guys, is that, we just did it that way, and I've always wanted to do it that way.
Now, you guys have just posted, it's not a video, but you've released a song this past week on YouTube for I'm a Target. Now, my question is, are you guys going to do a physical release with this? We're going to keep it underground? Or is it just going to be just mainly for digital distribution? What are the future plans as far as getting the music out there to the people?
That was another thing that we wanted to keep it really low-key. We found a way online to put the music out there through things like Bandcamp and TuneCore to make the music available. I really didn't want to do the whole song and dance of taking it to labels and things like that. We just wanted to have the music available for people to buy. We have been talking with someone who would like to put it out as vinyl. But we just wrote about probably 3 more songs that I'm really excited about, that are really cool and kind of different. We kind of feel like the first 7 songs kind of established the band as pretty unique sounding and still having a hard edge. But so I'd really just say, I've heard a couple of people say, oh, it sounded like Bad Nasty. Someone said it sounded like Dead Kennedys. And someone else said it sounded like Black Flag. And I was like, that's perfect. I don't want anyone saying, oh, you're just trying to sound like Rise Against. Oh, you're just trying to sound like Bad Religion again. I really like that people are getting different vibes. Someone even said we sound like Motley Crue on one song. I was like, that's cool. I'll go with that. But,
what era Motley Crue?
It was, Oh God sounds vaguely similar to like the first Live Wire song from Motley Crue.
Okay,
so that
cool.
was really early Motley Crue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I was actually in a battle of the bands with Motley Crue in my first band when I was about 18 years old. I still have the flyer of my first battle of the bands was with Motley Crue at a rec center. It was this band called Joe Nobody, and they were just like little kids playing Clash cover songs, so it was really bad. And yeah, they won, we lost.
Oh, that's an awesome story, man.
Desperation kills me, tears me in two. I'm talking, more for you. Take it, ready, fire. Take it, ready, fire. Isolation does me, bear with me too. I'm talking, more for you.
This is Andrew WK reminding you that you're tuned in and partying extraordinarily hard right here on Dying Scene Radio.
Everything they need, we think is what we need. It's all the son of boss that the power's guaranteed. Everything they do, they build and they accrue. Millions of depressions, we must strike at the root. Yeah, I hear the words, unscared words, of falling on the deputies of the absentee. Cause they're all just empty, empty and absurd. So why do they keep on preaching unto me? We make and everything we take. Eat out the void, meaningless and filled with fate. It's talk about the divide, the worlds will collide. As we fast as Bible states, the fall comes out to pride. Yeah, I hear the words, unscared words, of falling on the deputies of the absentee. Cause they're all just empty, empty and absurd. So why do they keep on preaching unto me? They scream, can we just agree to disagree? Can they think they're free? While gauging misery, but I must certainly disagree.
And that track right there, man, that's the smoking gun right there, man. Chaos Delivery Machine featuring another Pennywise guy, Fletcher Drag. Got together with a couple of the guys from 98 Mute, including Justin Thirsk. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yeah, Justin Thirsk. He was in Pennywise, right?
Well, his brother was Jason Thirsk.
Jason Thirsk. He was the bassist who died?
Yes, that's correct. Who, unfortunately, he took his own life in 1989. And, you know, the band, of course, created Bro Hymn in his memory. And they play it to this day. Also, Jason Page is in the band. Not to gloss over that, but to keep on rolling on. Their upcoming album is called Burn, Motherfucker, Burn. And that track was called Where the Sidewalk Ends. Check out the release. It'll be out May 5th. Again, my birthday. It's going to be a great, solid week for punk rock releases. I see it already. Coming out on Hardline Entertainment, and it serves as the band's sophomore release behind their 2008 Felony Records release called Manifesto. You want to pre-order it? Go there to the Hardline Entertainment website and pick yourself up a copy.
How about some news, Bob?
You got some more stuff? What do you got over there?
I got something.
Okay.
What the fuck? I got it.
Hey, what do I know, man? I'm just a fucking...
You stealing the spotlight, talking away, sitting there with your red hair, looking so beautiful and serene.
Help it, man. I can't help it.
All knowledgeable, doing big-time interviews, talking about music, talking about your birthday. Gaslight Anthems live at Park Avenue. That's the headline, Bob. Joe Sib and Bill Armstrong and the gang at Side 1 Dummy Records are celebrating their 20th anniversary in style. To mark the completion of their second decade in the game, Side 1 Dummy has unveiled a 20th anniversary reissue series that'll feature 9 of the label's quintessential releases, freshly repressed on limited edition vinyl. Kicking things off is Gaslight Anthems live at Park Avenue. The 6-song EP was originally released back in 2009 and is now being repressed on Coke Bottle Green or translucent blue vinyl. Check out order options here on dyingscene.com, but I think orders might be already sold out.
I'm looking at the list. Looks like there's a lot of cool stuff on there, man. Some Flogging Molly, some Swinging Utters, some 22 Jacks. A lot of good stuff, man.
Also in the news, Bob, earlier this week we reported on Tom DeLonge that there has been an interview conducted and an article written entitled Blink-182 co-founder Tom DeLonge goes deep on UFOs, government cover-ups, and why aliens are bigger than Jesus in Paperback Magazine. He basically talks about his belief in the existence of aliens and all kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of whatever people label as conspiracy theory things. All these topics. And he discusses them in a lengthy article. It's pretty interesting.
Do you think he actually wears a tinfoil hat and, like, lives inside of, like, a hole that he digs underground and just kind of hides out in so he can generate...
No, I don't think he's doing that. I think he's on the internet talking about his views right now, right? He's doing the opposite of that, Bob.
He's not hiding in a hole with a tinfoil hat on?
He's not, man. He's building a tinfoil website. I don't know. He has that new website that he just launched, Strange Times. But yeah, man, Tom DeLonge. He's getting into that stuff, man, the UFOs and all this stuff.
I guess that's one way to keep the news media talking about you, right? Your band is no longer relevant anymore. You've just broken up. You don't know whether you've been kicked out of the band or whether you quit. Let's start talking about UFOs, and let's go that route, because that way, still get your name talked about.
He's one of the lucky ones, isn't he?
I'd say he's had a privileged life for far too long.
Wow.
And this week marked the release of Famous for Nothing. It's a tribute to the Dropkick Murphys through Take a Shot Records. Basically, Bobby, it's about 18, 20 bands that did just their favorite version of a Dropkick Murphy song. It also includes Barroom Heroes, your buddies over there. Where are they from, Bobby?
Up in Boston.
Yeah, okay. They're on the compilation, too. The 18-track compilation is performed by a bunch of different street punk, oi, and folk musicians, including the lucky ones, East End Radicals, Ramshackle Army, Brain Damage, many, many more. It's a great chance for you to hear your favorite Dropkick Murphys in a little bit different light. Stream the whole compilation right there, DyingScene.com. I decided to go ahead and play this track right here from the lucky ones. It's called Get Up, and it's pretty kicking ass. Check it out. It's Dying Scene Radio.
This is Jim from Pennywise and the Wrath. You're listening to Dying Scene Radio.
Tired, I'm exhausted. Sanity, I think we lost it. Somewhere between California and Colorado Springs. Our behaviors badge of dishonor, and it's in let's have a beer. A million miles from home. But I'm intoxicated since the ball will have replaced it with a fresh enthusiasm for trying to ruin my life. It's 8 a.m. It begins to show the whiskey in my hand. It's white lines, sunshine of your life.
there's another melodic punk band coming out of Scotland. They're called Uniforms. And guess what? Now that you've heard of them, they've decided to go ahead and break it up, man. The band released their following statement. Words are inadequate to express the depth of the gratitude that we have for everyone who took a chance and supported our silly punk rock band. Uniforms has been therapy for me, the soundtrack to our lives, and a central focus of existence for the last 3.5 years. And for that, I shall forever be grateful. The band also made their new and last EP, Pink Couch, available for streaming. The band plans to release it next month through Make That a Take Records. You can find the links right here on Dying Scene Radio. Bobby Pickles, you got some more news, buddy?
Yeah, man. Social Distortion is set to perform their self-titled album from back in the day, man.
Again.
They already did this before?
No, I'm just saying it's another band, going back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm slow. I'm sorry. You're right. Again, there's another one. Social D. Their self-titled album, man. They're going on a European tour, and they're going to play their self-titled album in its entirety on the tour in order to celebrate the 25th anniversary of that classic album. The tour begins in April and will be supported by Jessica Hernandez and the Deltas and guitarist Johnny Two Bags Wickersham's solo band.
Johnny Two Bags is a longtime guitar player for Social D. He has his own band that he does his thing with, and what better way to keep the costs down than to bring your buddies along from your side project and bring them on tour with you? It's one less person on the road. Isn't that what touring's all about, man? Just getting together with your buddies anyway and just hitting the road and getting in the old fart bus and stinking it up.
The old fart bus.
Dude snoring and farting. It only takes about 2-3 days and it's ripe, man.
Oh my God, Bob. I can picture you right now, man, riding along. Everybody's in there smelling each other's farts, rolling down the Florida highway.
Think about it, man. We're all eating the same food, I mean, it's a truck stop, the 2 for $3 chili cheese dogs from your Wawa store or whatever. Yeah.
Dude, you're going to have fun, man, going out on the road.
Looking absolutely forward to it.
Bob, Social Distortion, man. I mean, isn't that crazy that the self-titled album, it was released, man, back March 27th, 1990. 1990. God.
It was a breakthrough album when it came out. Peaked at 128 in the Billboard Top 200 and featured such successful singles as Story of My Life, Ball and Chain, all karaoke classics these days. I've done it myself. I sang the fuck out of those songs, Bobby.
Is it a gold record?
No, I don't think so.
Bob, it says it right there.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
That's the continuation.
Well, dude, it's been out for 25 years. Of course it's gold now. It's a lot of records, 500,000 records. Not too many bands are selling 500,000 records these days.
Bob, I hear Social D recently announced plans to enter the studio to work on a new album.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. It'll be their first album since 2011's Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes. Anyway, they didn't indicate a release date, so keep you up to date on that, dyingscene.com.
Yeah, don't be surprised if it's 2 or 3 years down the line.
Now, Bob, I want to get back to this interview, man. Hear what you two crazy punk rock poppies are yapping about.
One of the cool things, I read Jim Lindberg's book, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I actually read the 20 to 30 page intro of what was on the Kindle. But he inspired me to, I ordered the book, it's on the way. Punk Rock Dad. We talk about it here in a minute. It's all about family. Only one thing's more important than punk rock, Bobby, and that's family.
Bob, God damn you, you fucking beat me to it. You practiced the good old radical honesty method. And that's what I employ. And you did the same thing. Now, I was going to out you on that.
What were you going to out me on? You were going to out me on.
Wasn't it? Well, when you talked to Jim, as everybody's going to hear, you claim that you have read his book. So I appreciate the fact that you kind of knew that was going to come up. You practiced radical honesty in order to clear your name. That's a great tactic, Bob.
Listen, this is what I did, man. I read the first 20 or 30 pages are available free. You can get them on Kindle. I got a Kindle. I read it, and I was so inspired by it that I bought the whole book. It's on the way. I'll let you know when I'm done. But more than anything, I can relate to him. You'll find out in this interview. There's no need for me to talk about it right now. Let's just go ahead and play it right now, man. This is part 2 of my interview with Wrath's frontman and Pennywise frontman, Jim Lindberg.
We've got these 3 new songs that are a little bit different, but they still have good energy. But I want to get those recorded, and then if down the line someone wants to compile that stuff into a proper album and put it out, that's great. But right off the bat, we just wanted to put it out there the easiest way to do it. And places like Bandcamp are pretty cool sites for that.
It's been said already that you guys are willing to play some backyards and doing some shows, but is there any talk of tour plans, even a short run, or are you guys just sticking over there in California, in the South Bay area, being a local band?
We got offered to do Party Zero reunion show that I was hoping to be able to do, but it's very low pressure. The guys, everyone has families and jobs, and obviously at Pennywise, they've been in bands, they've done band tours across the country, they've done it enough to know that we're kind of at an age now where we can't just go out for a month in the U.S. and hope for the best. It'll be more like if there's a cool show that we can get on, or we end up wanting to do a quick run in just California or like a Southwest region or something like that could be cool when Pennywise doesn't have stuff going on. But right now, it's just the cool thing about it is there's just no pressure, and none of us are putting any pressure on each other to do anything. But we still practice every week, and everyone's really involved in the creative part of it. We're doing a video for one of the songs with a local artist who has a really warped, kind of crazy idea for one of our songs. It was funny when he mentioned the theme for the video, and it was 18th century heaven. And he has this crazy concept for the video. It was really amazing. So he's working on that now. And we're also working with this other artist on another video idea for our song Back of Wine. So it's really hard when you've been a band that's been together almost 30 years for people to make decisions. Like Pennywise, we couldn't decide on a video for our last little release because everyone says, I think it should be a backyard party. Or I think it should be a kid, at school acting out the song. And then so we just don't do anything because no one can agree.
Right. Yeah. That's
And now when you have a band this young, everyone's just like, yeah, it sounds good. Or I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's like you're not worried about making missteps. You're not worried about alienating your fans because you don't have any yet. You can do whatever you want.
It's nice, man, because you can take that step back and have fun with it again, I mean, not that it's not fun to go tour the world with Pennywise. I'm sure it has its perks, but, just keeping it real and just, bringing it back to what brought you there in the first place,
Exactly. I know it's tough for everybody. It's not just me. It is tough when your band has a lot of expectations on who you are. Obviously, in the social media age, you're going to get all kinds of people trying to decide for you what is right for you, what is right for the band. Now they're very protective of the sound, of the behavior, of all kinds of things, and they'll be very alienated. If, let's say, Pennywise were to put out a video for our last record that, half of our audience or fans out there didn't like, it would be upsetting for them. And that's probably why we can't do something, is we're so protective of that, of like, well, we don't want to look like we're doing this to these fans, or we don't want to do that, or they'll bum out if we don't look hardcore enough, You have all these crazy considerations that it is nice not to have those. We can just kind of make stuff just because it's fun and we like doing it.
Yeah, I never considered that much thought really had to go into it, but I can see your point, and that you're absolutely right. You have to protect your brand, and like it or not, whether that's the label that you want, that's kind of what a lot of bands are out there. Once they reach a certain plateau, they are a brand. I think the Pennywise are, but Wraths, man, totally kick-ass band. I really enjoyed the new stuff, the 7 songs that you have out. Are you guys doing any cover songs if you do anything live?
You know what? We played our first show. You can see it's on YouTube.
I saw it.
For Felony Records. We played our first show, and they said, well, we're going to give you guys a 40-minute set. And then we played all 7 songs, and they're all under 2-minute songs. So we literally did our sets, and it was about 16 minutes with talking in between songs. So 2 days before the show, we said, well, we better learn some covers. So we did Fix Me by Black Flag, and we did Breathe by Nirvana. It was literally like, well, what other song can we do? And he said, well, I know Breathe by Nirvana. And we literally started playing it right then, and we tried it at Soundcheck and played it that night. So pretty ridiculous, but I think there's room for more covers and things like that. And once we write a few more songs, we'll have a full set. But right now, I can only fill about 20 minutes.
That's awesome, though, man. Hey, Jim, I know that your time is valuable and you probably got lots of things to do, but I do have one more question for you.
Sure.
Being a parent, you have 3 daughters. I have 3 daughters myself.
I feel for you, man.
They can't all be perfect, but they are all great to me. But I got to ask you, man, I did read your book, Punk Rock Dad, but I'm curious just how it is that you are able to juggle your family life with your 3 daughters, with not only doing, an upstart Havoc TV, being on the board of directors with the Surf Rider, the list goes on and all your band projects. How do you maintain a happy home life, man?
It's pretty much impossible. I would say the hardest thing right now is juggling the needs of the band and the needs of my family and my kids. And you couldn't have called it a better time because we're going through that right now. And it's obviously a very difficult part of the band for me because I've got my daughter's graduating high school in June, and there's a lot of year-end events and recitals and things going on in June that I've missed in the past and that I really need to be there for my family. You know, everyone's seen that movie where the kid is at the recital or giving the speech and he looks out in the crowd and dad's not there. There's an empty chair next to mom or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough for the kids, you know. I know that straight up. You know, I know my daughters have wanted me at certain events where I couldn't be there because I'm on tour. And unfortunately this year we've got an offer to do the Amnesia Rock Fest, which is a huge festival up in Canada. But it's right the weekend of graduation, and I had to turn that down. And then another festival came in on the exact day of her big recital, just came in, and I had to say, hey, guys, you know, I've got to be there this year. You know, I just can't do it. And the guys in the band get very pissed about that because those are big shows that they want to play, and I'm holding them back. So you can imagine it puts me in a really, really tough situation. And I really hope a lot of the people out there, our fans, understand that I would never betray my fans like that was said about me before, or that turn my back on the fans or things like that. That is just absolutely ludicrous. You know, I'm trying to juggle the health of my family and the band and do everything I can to make it all work and keep it balanced. And it's hard for everyone to be supportive of each other in that situation, especially because guys like Fletcher don't have kids, so he can always go. It's difficult in that situation, and these things do come up, but hopefully we work through it and try and support each other. But that's when the problems do arise. One thing a lot of people need to understand is I think everyone that I know, all the other dads and families, a huge percentage of them are now divorced because of the pressures in bands like Bad Religion and other bands where you have a guy, the dad is always on tour all the time. It leads to the breakup of families. It's tragic because the pressure's there to be superhuman when you've got to travel so much and play shows for your fans. A lot of times you have to have a lot of understanding there, and sometimes bands don't have that communication and understanding. It's easy for things to fall apart. And for me, that happened in 2009 where it was just, hey man, this isn't working. I can't be the bad guy in the band and also risk the health of my family. So it was very different from what outside world probably thought was going on. It was like, hey man, I love Pennywise. I wrote a lot of the material, songs on guitar and vocals for Pennywise over the years. It was something that I loved and gave a lot of my life to. So it wasn't something I wanted to do, but it also could be a situation where we were going to have so much conflict over the touring and having that be such a difficult situation. So to answer your question a long way, yeah, it is difficult, but at the same time, I wouldn't change a thing in that, you know, I love playing music with Pennywise. I love playing music with Wrath and all these bands, and I love doing it. I'm just doing my best to find that balance, just like any other guy who works a 9-to-5 job or has to travel. You do your best you can and try and keep a balance, even though it seems impossible.
I know that you know what to do, man. And, you know, I, for one, will never, ever give you any problems for taking care of your family, man. And I think that most people probably understand that. But, Jim, it's been such a pleasure talking with you, man. I'm sure that you and I could probably talk for 3 or 4 more hours. But
yeah.
We only have a 2-hour.
Well, yeah, anytime. I'd love to, you know, I think it's a really cool thing you guys are doing over there, you know, and yeah, I think there does need to be more stuff for like dads and people in the music industry. Obviously, the terrible tragedy happened with Tony Sly and things like that. It is important to remember not all these bands are 20 years old with no responsibilities. You know, you never put punk rock and fatherhood together or parenting together, but they're going to happen. So it is important to expose those truths up there.
And they really can coexist, man. And there will be other festivals, but your daughters only graduate one time. Well, at least high school.
That's right.
My oldest daughter graduated last year, so it was a proud moment for me, and I'm sure it will be for you as well, Jim. So
appreciate it. It's great talking to you.
Anytime, man. I really appreciate your time.
music, your knowledge and history. You will never run my side, bitterness to drive you home. Now you think you're in control, you lose yourself to take it slow. Now you watch it slip away, but it'll never be the same again. Tried to keep me down, but I want revenge. Tell me what has gotten into your head. Can't take no more, it won't go away. You wrote all your bad checks and now you're gonna pay. You can look but you can't say your knowledge and history. You will never run my side, bitterness you drive you hard. Now you think you're in control, you lose yourself to take it slow. Now you watch it slip away, but it'll never be the same again. Never again.
This is Ines.
And I'm Taylor. I'm Michelle.
And we're Damn Broads, and you're listening to Dying Scene Radio. Yeah! There you go. That's some brand new stuff, unreleased, not even going to be available until March 9th.
That track right there was called Darwin and the Dinosaur. And if you listen real close carefully, you'll hear that they mentioned being the savior of a dying scene.
That's cool, man. Darwin and the Dinosaur, that's an interesting name. These guys obviously don't believe in, what's the one where is it called creationism?
Maybe.
Dinosaurs and human beings there.
I'm sorry, Bobby. I was probably sleeping in class that day, so my memory's a little hazy on that one.
Creationism is the belief that the universe and life originate from specific acts of divine creation. This includes taking a biblical literalism and the rejection of the scientific theory of evolution.
And ironically enough, Bobby, that track right there was called Theories, which backs up what you're saying right there. So, very cool stuff, man. Darwin and the Dinosaur. And also some brand new stuff from Wraths as well. A little bit of a departure, man. In Control is the track. Totally kick-ass.
When you were talking to Jim Lindberg, he was saying that there was a tragedy with Tony Sly, and I heard you comment on it briefly. What was up with that?
Well, it's time to take Bobby Pickles to school here.
Yeah, who's Tony Sly?
Right, so
take me to school, man.
Tony Sly is the well-respected singer of No Use for a Name. Did some solo stuff with Joey Cape of Lagwagon. Died suddenly about 2 years ago. He was found in his bed by Fat Mike, and he was unresponsive and later pronounced dead. It was determined that his cause of death was a drug-related seizure, and, it's a tragedy. He was a young man. He had a family. He had seemingly the world at his fingertips. Sometimes life just catches up with you. It's got to show you that life is short. Enjoy the people that you got around you when you got them next to you.
So that's what Jim Lindberg does, man.
Jim Lindberg is all about, positive mental attitude. And I'm serious, man. It is. It's writing uplifting music, even if it is as you're chanting fuck authority.
Can I comment a little bit on the interview?
You got it, bro. Jump in.
I thought that the interview was really cool, man, and interesting. What happens when these victims of this dying scene, these guys who play punk rock music, and then they have families? They got to go out and they got to tour all the time. That's how you got to provide your family. Pennywise is a brand, just like all these bands are brands. All these dying scene bands, man, are all
just
brands. And you got to think about that because you can't upset your fans. So there's a lot that goes on, a lot of politics involved. He just wants to play music. That's why he starts these side projects. He's doing that because he wants to get back to basics. That's why when he was talking about how he produced this thing with just like 1, 2, 3 takes. It's that, as you said, as you picked up on it, that old school kind of vibe.
Did you hear how excited he sounded when he talks about the band, It's just like a new proud papa who's just had a baby, and, it's like, oh, well, look, I got a little baby girl. She's beautiful. Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's
right, man. And you guys both shared the fact that you both have daughters. That was cool.
Kindred spirits we are.
Absolutely, bro. Good job.
Thanks, bro. Let's move on, man. We got one more track left here. One more track, and then we got this one in the bag, Bobby.
All right, so maybe we should say goodbye to these knuckleheads.
Well, let's give a shout-out one more time to our newest sponsor, FatEnzo.com. FatEnzo.com is providing quality screen printing at an affordable price. If you're in a band, if you got a business, you got a podcast, whatever you got, and you want people to know about it, FatEnzo.com. Check it out. Prices can't be beat. You want the Dying Scene Radio special? It is $5 t-shirts on any order over 50. 50 t-shirts, one color, $250 right to your door. Let's talk business. FatEnzo.com.
Bob, you're a fantastic salesman. Have you ever done sales?
I suck at sales, Bobby. I'm terrible. I've worked, if you count the call center jobs, that was sales. I used to sell these little coupon books for $40. Ridiculous price, by the way. But you got all kinds of free things in there. Free haircut from Fantastic Sam's, half off of your steak dinner at Charlie's Steakhouse, or buy one, get one lobster at Lobster Feast. It was like phone book thick. I couldn't sell those things for the life. $40, man. Thing was, I'm a truth in advertising kind of salesman. And it's like this, Bobby. If I don't like what I'm selling, it's not very fun for me to talk about it. So, you know what? A $40 coupon book seems pretty stupid to me. So I couldn't sell it. FatEnzo.com, I'll sell the shit out of that, buddy. T-shirts, man. You want a custom T-shirt? Get in touch.
It's important to note that Fat Enzo isn't your grandpappy's online custom t-shirt screen printing shop. They actually have an edgy graphic design department where you can actually have professional illustration done.
And if you're a band out there, then get your stupid ass off the fucking computer and get your credit card out. Or if you're going to be on that computer, make sure you're designing something or getting in touch with fatenzo.com so they can design it for you. fatenzo.com. I want to thank everybody once again for taking the time to listen to the show. I see those IP addresses, and I know what you're wearing. Wow, you guys should all be completely ashamed of yourselves.
I'd be terrified if I were you guys, because the all-knowing Bob isn't the all-knowing Bob for no reason.
I could be pretty sleuthy if I want to. I see you. I see you in there.
Bob, what does sleuthy mean? Oh my God. Man, you're bringing me to school on this episode.
I don't know if that's actually a word. Sleuthy? That might be slang for, someone who is a sleuth would be, a detective type. So sleuthy means you're just kind of snooping around. I don't know. Fuck, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hang on, sleuthy! Sleuthy, hang on!
It was so fun acting sleuthy with you this week on another episode of Dying Scene Radio. And I really fucking enjoy bringing you guys the news. And I hope to see you next week, if the universe grants me so.
And if my probation officer doesn't listen to this podcast, I might be back next week as well. So, yes, it's great to be here, Bobby. And you know what they say about the great state of Florida. You come on vacation, you leave on probation. Watch yourself.
My uncle always said about Florida was all the idiots who screw up their lives somewhere else, they move to Florida to start over, and then they have kids. They populate.
That's pretty accurate, man. That really is.
It is, man.
Yeah.
That's your gene pool, Bob.
It's your gene pool, Bobby.
No, it's... Shit. But God damn it, there's a lot of punk rock coming out of the Bay.
Tampa Bay's got a great punk scene, yes.
That's
So is New York City. A little punk rock scene in New York City. It's a tiny community. So some say it's taken a while. I say it's been 3 years. Make Do and Mend has a brand new record that's coming out, and they've got a brand new track, which they're streaming right here on DyingScene.com. Now the track, it's a great middle ground. It's it's aggressive, it's catchy at parts, but still rough enough to roll with everything else that they have in their catalog. So let's check it out right here. Like I said, brand new. Make Do and Mend. I am Bob Noxious. Hit me up on the old Twitter at Bob Noxious, or email me some links, whatever you got. Bob Noxious at DyingScene.com. Bobby, take him home, buddy.
Yeah, Bob, what you said. Bobby Pickles at DyingScene.com. Actually, you know what? I don't want anybody emailing me. Don't even email me. You're not allowed to email me, all right?
Send your email death threats, well-concealed money, and nudes to Bobby Pickles at DyingScene.com.
That's it, Bob. I'm going to take us out, man, because you get to do all the introing. I'm going to intro this one. Here's Make Do and Mend. Don't be long on Dying Scene Radio.
Coming
I'm Matt.
I'm Richard. And I'm Pat, and we're from Crime City. You're listening to Dying Scene Radio on DyingScene.com.